Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and this one is from the user Cricket Wes. He's driving the Oho on an encounter battle on Himmelsdorf. Oho being a tier 8 heavy tank for the Japanese. So I've shown a few replays from the Japanese tanks over the last few weeks, and I'm probably going to show a few more replays. I still want to get a really good OI experimental replay for you guys, thanks to the fact that we had a really good regular OI replay. And this one is already shaping up to be a good battle, as Cricket Wes decides to take the hill. It being an encounter battle, both teams spawn on either side of the hill, so the lemming train tends to just rush in the direction that they're facing. And this tends to be a fantastic clash of steel. And with the cannon that the Oho has, if we take a look at the ammunition there, 910 damage, 75mm of penetration, this thing is going to absolutely wreck some people. Although they do have some fairly heavily armoured targets up here in the form of that KV-4. Is looking at this ISU 152, is spending the time to aim. Just backs off in time, and that one lands on the dirt, angles his tank and give people a lot of side armour, and then decides to move around the other side. Problem with the Oho, obviously, is because it's so horrendously massive, the thing is very, very slow. But at tier 8, its armor holds up very, very well, and it's really able to do some good work. I'm going to come around the corner now and see who he can see. Only really this IS here. Fires off a snapshot there, which just goes flying off to the moon. Going to come in and ram this IS. Knows that he can take the punishment, as there isn't really anybody else here to offer any help to this IS. Gets a good hit on him to take him out. Now he's going to turn his attention to his left-hand side and concentrate more on the tanks that were pushing up the hill. It's not very often that you see a tank as large and as slow as this one being able to outmaneuver and outflank the enemy. But here we go, he has done just that. Taking hits now from the front, the side and the rear. Going to have to choose his target carefully here. SU-100 would be the prime target, but he's just in cover, so decides to take out the IS instead. And that was a fantastic kill there. Takes a hit from the rear, loses his loader, but just brings him back into the action with his med kit there. Now going to move around, trying to keep as much of his tank hidden from the KV-4 as possible. Going to try and sneak a shot through his side armor. Luckily, one of his allies does take out his track. Does fire. I couldn't really see much of the KV-4 there. KV-4 just backs off into safety. Tiger 2 just going to charge down the SU-100 and does eventually eliminate him. Now we're going to have a look at taking out this KV-4. AMX CDC playing a dangerous game here. Cricket Wes is able to take out the KV-4's track, but the CDC gets himself taken out. But now they've got to play it carefully. As you can see, there is a lone heavy tank coming up the hill behind them. So any moment now, they're going to be taking shots in the rear. Trying to get this one through the low plate of the KV-4, but the KV-4's armor is ridiculous anywhere on that tank. Just start taking fire in the rear from this Kneven now. Looks like the allied team hasn't fared so well down on the ground. Turn his attention now towards this Kneven. Is taking damage from him, so the Kneven playing pretty well here to pick out the weak spots of the Oho. I'm going to hope that the Tiger 2 spins around after taking out the KV-4. Does get himself nicely hidden there. Tiger 2 does get one hit on the Kneven. It's going to be up to Cricket Wes to hopefully try and finish him off. Going to try and put that through the low plate and gets a huge hit there for 648 points of damage. Just having a quick look behind him, is that T-44 is trying to fend off a hell of a lot of attackers from the south there. There is a Rheinmetall coming around trying to charge him down, so got to be careful. If he falls, then they are going to be in serious trouble. Gets a beautiful shot on the turret to take out the Kneven. Now it is time to spin around and try and take out the attackers from the bottom. T-44's got a lot of health there, but that Rheinmetall can be dangerous. Also, the artillery is still there, so the T-44 can't really push into those guys. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have many choices, as there is a lot of tanks closing down on his position. Hopefully, Cricket Wes can get there in time. Enemy still going ahead with the base capture. It looks like that Rudy stubbornly going for that one. T-44 still on a lot of health. He's doing a fantastic job defending there. The Tiger 2 takes out the Rheinmetall from the top. T-44 gets a little bit greedy, goes around the corner, loses about half of his hit points. But the cavalry in the form of the Oho has arrived. Although this T-34-85 is now in their rear and taking out the Tiger II. Gonna just push forward undaunted here. Looks like the Rheinmetall comes charging forward. I don't think he realised that the Oho was here. And that is a huge 858 points of damage to take him out. Takes a hit in the rear from the 34-85. T-44 spins himself around. Now got to make the choice of what to do. If he wants to try and stop the base capture, he's going to have to go there right now. In fact, the T-44 should really be going for the base capture, and Cricket Wes should stop to try and fight the T-34-85. Does find a T-20. He's got 881 hit points. He only has 88 hit points himself. So if you watch here, he does the smart thing of just keeping his front armor on target of the T-20 and waiting for him to blow all the way past, and then putting 881 points of damage right through his rear armor. Unfortunately, the T-44 gets taken out by the 34-85, but he only has 1 hit point left. Thinks he may be able to pull off a miracle here, but there are no miracles against the Oho's frontal armor. And that one bounces, and he becomes kill number 6, a Top Gun medal. And that just leaves the Rudy versus the 88 health Oho of Cricket Wes. First shot bounces. I'm not really sure whether Rudy can actually penetrate the frontal armor of the Oho, so he's going to have to try and flank. It looks like he's playing a little bit too cagey. Now he realizes what kind of trouble he's in. He starts to make a move. For some reason, wants to go for a ram there, and he loses a massive amount of hit points to that slow speed ram. Still going to try and get around the side of this Oho, but it's not to be. He gets eliminated as well, and that is the victory. So awesome game played there by Cricket Wes, picking himself up 4,700 points of damage, a Top Gun medal, and really securing victory from the jaws of defeat for his team there. So great replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that's in the description. I've been Maxwell. This has been a World of Tanks replay, and I'll catch you guys next time.